G'day guys, Googs here. You're welcome to my drunk philosophy. I haven't made a video in a while. I've been doing the Christmas thing. I've been on holidays. I've been traipsing around the countryside. There's my reasoning. You don't like it? That's fine by me. Today, I'm going to talk about the downfall of one Donald J. Trump. Now, yes, full disclosure, I'm a Trump fan. Okay? No bones. But I'm going to be very honest because I took myself out of that picture for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I've just been looking at what's going on around the whole thing. And backtracking a bit and looking over the past 4.5, 5 odd years. Why has Donald Trump lost this election? And the after effects. How will he be perceived into the future? Things like this. He made a fatal mistake back early in his election run in 2016. The fatal mistake. No, it wasn't we're going to build a wall. It wasn't going to be we're going to reduce taxes. It wasn't going to be we're going to get rid of the TPP. It wasn't going to be we're not going to, we're going to lose our signatory to the Kyoto Protocol and all those. That wasn't it. That was not the thing that caused his downfall then. Because people were laughing and they were having a bit of fun with him, and then he said, I am going to drain the swamp. I'm going to get rid of corruption in Washington, D.C. That's when the shit hit the fan, ladies and gentlemen. Looking back and actually seeing how the media was, and then all of a sudden the media going from, oh, it's Donald Trump, yeah, and having a bit of a fun with it, to going, holy shit, and watching the corporations and the social media corporations go, watching the old school politicians on both sides of the aisle go, oh, we hate him. The lobbyists hate him. Everybody hates him. I initially thought it's because these people couldn't control him. And then I realized, no, he has just declared war on the entire establishment in Washington, D.C. And that establishment includes older politicians who he knows, and I'm very sure he's got dirt on them, the corporate lobbyists as well as the smaller lobbyists, because there's on both sides a little bit of under the table. We've known this for years. This is nothing new to tell anyone, I'm sure. Pissed off the media because they're in there too. They're in there too. And almost immediately the propaganda began because he declared war on them. He declared war on all of those people, those three major groups. Declared war on them. People in his own party, the John McCains and people like this, the Republicans, went, oh shit. All the old school people went, oh, the Pelosi's went crazy. The Bidens, when he still had a brain, because he doesn't, I'm sorry to anybody who thinks Biden is the next, Wahoo, he's not. Kamala's going to be the next Wahoo, I can just about guarantee that, 25th Amendment. If you don't know what that is, check it out, because Nancy Pelosi certainly was aiming that way a couple of months ago. He pissed off everyone at once. And all the people who decided who's the kingmakers. Who's the king? And he nearly lost that first election based on the deplorables and all the propaganda and all the rubbish. I've never seen so much hatred for one political person in all my life. And they made up wonderful stories and they showed little screen grabs of things that he's said and half things that he said. Why did they hate him so much? Because he declared war on them. He declared war on the establishment, which is why people like me are like, yeah, go Trump. But the problem is he declared war on them openly, publicly. That was it. That was the beginning and the end of that man in politics. That was it. It was done. He managed to become president, but he was hated. All the establishment politicians, all the lobbyists, all the media hate him. And hated him for 4 freaking years. That was the biggest and most fatal mistake Donald Trump made, politically. It was a dumb move. It was a stupid move. It was always going to end in his demise. The second big mistake he made was his dealing with COVID-19, the COOF. His dealings with that. The optics were shit. They were shit. They were just terrible. Is there any way we could put bleach into somebody and then... What? He talked about things like hydrochloroquine, Fine. Why the hell was he talking about them though? No filter is no good in the middle of an emergency. All he needed to do was come out and say, right, this is my recommendation as president of what we do. Lockdown, not lockdown. At the beginning, it probably would have been good just to give the recommendation of a lockdown. We're all together in this. We're America. We're the land of the truth, the strength, the brave, all that shit. All the unifying stuff. We're going to get through this. And then come back a couple of months later and go, look, the WHO have now said this. And we're going to get into a vaccine. And we're going to put money into this. And we're going to try to help people out with this. And just give the people what they need and give them a bit of reassurance. That's all he needed to do. I'm going to let the states do what they feel they have to do, but here's my recommendation. And that way, he's got plausible deniability when things go south in the states. You know, this is basic politics 101. He didn't do it. Instead, he just dribbled shit. He just dribbled shit. When Antifa and BLM were doing all their protests, what did he do? I'll send in the National Guard if you want me to. No. There are mass riots. We're in the middle of a pandemic. What the hell are these people doing? It's obvious that this state politician can't control his shit. We're sending in the Guard to quell this right now. That's what he needed to do. And just do that. But he didn't. He sat on his hands. Brings us up to the election. He lost. Now, you can say he lost because it was crook. You can say he lost because it was hook. He hooked himself or it was crooked himself, you know. And we all know that the Republicans cheat. We all know that the Democrats cheat. And in my personal opinion, because it's America, the Democrats this time cheated a little bit better than the Republicans did. Okay? I don't care if you don't like that idea. America is pretty freaking obvious to me as an Australian and to most other people in the rest of the world. Excuse me, your elections are a pile of shit. Corruption everywhere. Both sides. This is nothing new. Florida, in the year, 2000. Al Gore v. George W. Bush. It happens all the fucking time in every one of your elections. Dead people vote all over the place. Trump lost the election. Now, instead of coming out and going, look, there's a couple of states here where there's a little bit of technical issues, but actually, no. You know what he would have been better off doing? Is getting the people in the states, the Republicans in those states, to say, hey, look, you do this on my behalf. I need you to say, once again, politics 101, plausible deniability, say, look, you tell the people that you think that there's an issue, come out and say you're going to challenge it legally within your state legislature, whatever it is. I'll back you up. And you go, well, look, these people think there's a problem and I am the president, so I support this. See what happens. Instead, he made it a fucking circus. And here's the thing. He's a showman. And this is where his ego didn't just get the better of him. It fucked him 3 ways to Sunday. Fucked him 3 ways to Sunday. Because what he did is came out and made a big show about it. Oh, my God, you're fired, and this and that, and rah, rah, and Rudy Giuliani, and blah, 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 blah. They've stolen the election. There are two halves of America, right? The Republican half and the Democrat half. So whilst you're appealing to your supporters, and not all Republicans like Donald Trump, people are going, what the fuck are you doing? You mad cunt. This is not good for you. Because optics is 9/10 of politics. So he goes through all that rigmarole. It was shit. It was shit. It was base level reality TV style shit. He lost. And instead of coming out and saying, well, I'm going to concede once these court cases are done. And he concedes. He goes, oh, look, well done, Biden. I'm out. And just left it at that. That's all he needed to do. He said, but I'll see you in 2024. Now that would have been, okay, cool, we'll see you in 2024, Donald Trump. We'll see what happens. No. We're going to get a rally with millions of people then on the 6th of January where we count the electoral votes. And Biden is declared the victor, whether I like it or not. And these people bust through police lines. The police have to fall back. They go into Capitol Hill. They disrespect the Parliament, the federal Parliament of America. There's a dude in a Viking hat. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. It's on YouTube. You can go look it up. A dude in a Viking hat screaming some bullshit, sitting in the vice chair senatorial seat. There's another dude running off of the podium. And that's just some of the things that I saw. Disrespectful as fuck to your president, who still is in charge till the 20th of January. And the inauguration happens and Biden takes over. MAGA people, oh, they're disreputable, they're garbage people, they're this, they're that, they're ruffians, they're the hoi hopoi. And you prove the point just with these few people, because it doesn't matter if other people were outside the building or didn't go in, and they, peaceful protest. Go on about your BLMs, go on about your Antifas for the last year, and then you fucking do this. Trump loved the spectacle. Trump's out. He's not coming back. He did this because he's not coming back, okay? His name is Mud, because he does run for 2024, which I don't believe he will now. But if he does run for 2024, there's going to be a picture. What do you think of this guy sitting, this Viking dude sitting in the chair? Rah! MAGA! You might as well have had a fucking one of those, those beer hats and MAGA! Deplorables. It's deplorable act going in to Capitol Hill. And it was a mob. It wasn't a protest. It was a mob. And it may be the case, for example, that some of these dickheads were on the left or whatever. Sure. But man, what optics. So in the last year, Donald Trump has given everybody, and his followers in this case today, his followers have destroyed any legacy that man might have had. Any legacy. Okay? In 50 years' time, people are going to look back on Trump and say, hey, the first 2 or 3 years were okay. And then look what the fuck happened. Look at what this dickhead kept saying. Look at what his people kept doing. They were chanting, oh, these people on the left, the BLMs, the Antifas, oh, what a load of fucking degenerate bloody rioting bastards. And then they broke into Capitol Hill and started stealing podiums and doing dumb shit. Come on. Come on. Trump's done. The MAGA movement is done because of today. It's done. And the MAGA movement wasn't just make America great again, because there's a lot of people like myself who were MAGA. And in my case, it was make Australia great again. But the whole thing was, let's get back to some semblance of normalcy. Let's not let the lunatics run the asylum. Now the lunatics will run the asylum in America. Well done. He pissed off the people that you never piss off with. That's terrible optics. It was always going to be, you declare war on me, we declare war on you, propaganda, blah, 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 which is why he's the most hated American president of all time, because the media weren't going to let him go. And you can say, oh, Rupert Murdoch. He is a fan of the Republican Party as a conservative. He is no fan of Donald Trump. In fact, there was only 2 or 3 people actually at Fox News who were pro-Trump. And they weren't necessarily pro-Trump. They were pro what he was doing when he was doing the conservative thing. Okay? It's the end of MAGA. It's the end of Trump. Done. Well done. Well done to all these idiots today. You've killed the movement. Donald Trump, you've killed your own fucking movement. Without the media. Just in the general auspices of the wider world. Your bullshit with the election could have been handled in such a better way. And you needed to concede before today, mate, because you were done. By hook or by crook. You were done. So that's my perspective on why Donald Trump lost this election and why he's going to go down in infamy, and his followers in infamy for years to come. I'm Nathan Googs Fletcher. This is my drunk philosophy. Be good, be safe, don't be evil, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hooroo!